Alright, so this is just going to be a quick little video of Miss Pippa's first week here. I don't have anything super exciting for the first week, sorry. The biggest thing that we worked on is teaching her how to follow a lure, so that's just my hand filled with treats. What I wanted her to do is just follow my hand around, and that way I can kind of manipulate her into different positions, and that's how I'm going to shape behaviors and teach her how to go into new behaviors. Another thing that we worked on is establishing a clear understanding of our marker system. So we have a couple different markers. We have a clicker, which is that, meaning I liked what I saw, she can come get the food. We have the word good, we have the word okay, and we have the word no. So what a marker is, it's a cue or a sound that marks a specific moment in time that I like something, and for her it announces the arrival of food. So it's kind of like the bridge between I like that and here comes the food, just in case she comes out of behavior. It's showing her the exact moment that she goes into behavior and mark it to show her that that's what I wanted when I was luring her into behaviors. So the clicker I really use more so for shaping new behaviors. There's no expectations when she hears a click and she can come to me and get behavior. So what I'll do is I'll lure her into behavior, click to mark it, feed her. She doesn't have to do that thing anymore. She can do whatever she wants to after she hears the click. And I use it again to shape new behaviors. I do it a lot to reward engagement. So she's getting really good at just kind of checking with me and looking at me. I want her to continue to do that, so I mark I mark every time she looks up at me and pays attention to me, as opposed to other motivators. Like right now, if you can hear behind us, there's a window and there's a window, a big window, and there's a bunch of guys looking at cars, so they're kind of loud, and she's not really worried about them, which is great. And now she has a little nylabone. So our verbal markers, good, okay, and no. Good is going to be something that I'm going to use to build duration in each behavior. So once she's really consistently showing me what I like through clicker training, I will then start to put a little bit of duration onto it. So all it means is when I put her into behavior, instead of clicking to release her, I will just say good, treat, good, treat, space that out, vary how often and the sequence of times that I offer her the feed to build that duration. And then okay is going to be a terminal marker similar to the clicker. It means she can come out of behavior. So right now they kind of mean the same thing. Because I'm not really expecting her to have a lot of duration in each behavior. I'm trying to teach her what the behavior is. So the big difference right now with those two is good means I'm bringing food to you. Okay means she can come get the food from me. No, I'm just starting to play around with it. That's going to be our verbal correction and interrupter. It's something that I'm going to more so focus on next week when I'm introducing proper response to leash pressure. So I'll use it to stop behavior, stop her coming out of behavior prematurely, or I'll use it if she doesn't go into behavior. So definitely something more so focus on next week, along with leash pressure. So I haven't named a lot of things yet. I haven't put commands just yet. I started to sprinkle them here and there, but I really want to make sure that she's going into behavior consistently before I put a verbal command on that, just to avoid disassociation. So please do not be disappointed that I'm not sending her home with a bunch of commands. I'd rather her be really consistent with everything before we start throwing words around and she doesn't fully understand it and then doesn't go into behavior and then kind of backtracks me a little bit. So next week it's going to be really going into commands, leash pressure, starting to ask a little bit more. Everything is inside in the training room right now. We do a little bit next door in the lobby and a little bit on the, I always call it the porch, the little overhang thing right outside the front door. I do a little bit of stuff there, but I really want to make sure that we're in a low distraction environment just so I have full engagement with her. There's no competing motivators, so I know that she's learning at her full potential. As we progress, we'll start going into new settings, new distraction levels. We'll start going on field trips and things like that. But she's not quite ready. I'll be demonstrating a little bit of her obedience so far, but again, no commands just yet. But we'll get there, do not worry.
I'm going to take this from you. Come here. Hold on. It's very slimy.
Good girl. So I'm going to demonstrate the good and the okay right now. So I'm gonna lure her into her sit, good. And I want her to remain in that behavior, so good. I do, good. The verbal marker, I do the good marker, good. At a frequency in which she'll stay engaged, but I try to kind of vary how often I give it to her. I don't want it to be necessarily predictable, good. Good. Okay, very nice. But I'm not really expecting her to hold it for a long time. Continuing to pay her builds value in being in that behavior, good. So I definitely want to keep doing that, good. Very good. Okay. And if I see her start to check out a little bit, I'll release her before she does it without me saying so. Good. Very nice. Good. I got one of your hairs in my nose. Okay. And here for your leash walking. Ready? Good. Very nice. She's getting much better about, the camera's losing me. She's getting much better about taking treats. Good. She was a little mouthy initially, which is totally normal. She's a puppy and doesn't really know what her teeth are doing. Good. Good. You're so sweet. Good. Okay. Very nice. Good job. Do that again. Good. 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 Okay. Very nice. Good job. So she came up out of the down, but in this stage of learning, the bar is low. I'm not really worried about that. I just put her back into it so she could keep getting rewarded down there. She did not get a reward when she came up. It only happened when she was in that down. So that's something that I'll shape more so as we progress. I'll start adding in that no with leash pressure to get her back into a down when she comes up out of behavior. Well, I can't talk. I'll obviously go over more of that next time, but this is what we have so far. Starting to make her sit before going in and out of doors, and then working a little bit on her out. Good job teaching her an out so she can, you can create space between you and her if she's trying to jump up or crowd your space, and then eventually it'll be something that I use if she's chewing on something she's not supposed to, or she has some form of a resource like a toy or she stole something or anything like that. You can say out, she'll move away from it. So that's what we're doing. Leash walking, sit down, the place command, and playing a little bit with her recall. And now I'm just saying, Pippa! Good. Yeah, okay. I'm not using the word come yet. I'm just kind of putting value in her name. When she hears it, she comes running to me. That's all I need right now.